Hello WWE Universe and YouTube, LJG here with more WWE 13 predictions. This episode I am focusing on the Money in the Bank match, which will feature the briefcase and the contract for the WWE title whenever you want. As you can see here, I've only got 6 of the superstars out of the 7, but we'll get more into that later. And also, as you probably know, you can't have 7 people in a ladder match on WWE 13. But I'll get more into that later. First, I want to talk about every individual wrestler. First, let's start off with Randy Orton. It was a personal favourite of mine just because I did actually get the honour of meeting him 11 years ago before he was actually really that good. But still, Randy Orton. Well, actually, before I actually get into and talk about each individual wrestlers, I just want to point out that every single wrestler in this match is a face, meaning that basically, if you don't know what face means, basically they're all fan favourites. Which I think is a bit dodgy, it's a bit weird, but all the 7 involved, Randy Orton has probably the biggest potential to be a heel, just because of the recent rivalry with Bryan, and them 2 have put on some great matches, especially the street fight they had on Raw. But Randy Orton, he's been in a Money in the Bank match a few times, he's never won it, he's always put in a decent performance. I'll never forget the RKO at WrestleMania 23 off the ladder, which I believe was on CM Punk. Randy Orton now, I think he doesn't really need the Money in the Bank match to really further his career. I think his career's pretty much reached its full potential, and the only thing left for him now really is to try and get another title run going, which I think he deserves. I think Randy Orton's good enough to be a world champion or a WWE champion. But yeah, so I think Randy Orton, obviously he's got RKO someone off the ladder. I reckon it's always good when wrestlers do finishes off the ladder. But my prediction is Randy Orton will not be winning this Money in the Bank match. Okay, next I want to move on to Kane. Kane is a seasoned veteran in WWE. Also, little known fact about Kane. Kane is officially the most experienced WWE superstar because he's actually had over, I can't remember what the actual number, but he's had more matches than any other wrestler in WWE. And I'm talking dark shows as well. But Kane, I feel sorry for Kane's career. Not like he's had a bad career or anything. He's a multiple-time Intercontinental Champion, multiple-time Tag Champion, former Hardcore Champion, former World Champion, former WWE Champion, former ECW Champion. One of the 2 men who's actually accomplished that feat. Big Show beating the other. But I think Kane should have had a few more title runs in him. And I'd love to see Kane be the big monstrous heel again. And to be honest, I'd love to see him win this match and then just become a heel and just torture John Cena whilst winning the WWE title. Kane has been in plenty of Money in the Bank ladder matches before. If you remember, I believe 2 years ago, Kane actually won and cashed in on the night, cashed in on an injured Rey Mysterio, and actually held the title until December, where he lost in a TLC match to Edge, also featuring Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio. But Kane's storyline recently has just been the whole Team Hell No, and then him and Dean Ambrose over the United States title. And then rivalry's pretty much gone as far as they would ever go. I reckon they were great matches. It was a good rivalry. It really developed the Shield. But yeah, I don't see them rivalries going any further. So it brings us to the Money in the Bank match, but I don't think Kane is going to win. Just because I think Kane, like Randy Orton, maybe he can get another title run going, but I don't think he needs the Money in the Bank briefcase. I reckon if he gets another title run, he will, and it'll be a decent run because I think Kane is a great superstar, and I do personally like Kane. Next superstar I'm going to go on for is Christian. He recently returned. Christian, if you haven't been watching Raw the last few weeks, he returned. I can't remember who he played. Who he had in the match? Was it Cody Rhodes? No, Wade Barrett. Yeah, he returned and had a match with Wade Barrett, which he won, and then this week on Raw he was in a tag match with Sheamus against Team Rhodes Scholars, if they're still called that, which is actually quite an entertaining match. Christian, I don't know what to make of Christian. I think he's great, but I don't think he'll be good as a WWE champion. He'll be great as a world champion. I reckon I could see a decent rivalry with him and Dolph Ziggler, or him and Alberto Del Rio over the world title. But I just generally don't think Christian will win this match. I reckon he'll be one of the most entertaining people to watch in this match, just because of his experience with ladders in the WWE. And I reckon he always puts his all in, which I think is it's a shame that Christian, when he won the world title for the first time, that he ended up losing it 5 days later to Randy Orton. But I generally think Christian will not win the Money in the Bank match. And now I'm going to move on to Sheamus. Sheamus is another good superstar, but then again, I reckon he's got quite a long career ahead of him still, but I can't see him winning the Money in the Bank ladder match either, to be honest. But I reckon he's great. He's had experience in the matches before, but still, I just can't see him winning it. I don't think he needs to win it either. But now I want to move on to CM Punk. CM Punk undoubtedly has been one of the top superstars in the recent memory of WWE. He's got a bit of a rivalry going at the moment with sort of a feud, not really a rivalry with Paul Heyman, more with Brock Lesnar. But over the next few weeks of Raw, it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot of fighting and mistakes made between CM Punk and Paul Heyman towards each other. They had a great segment this week on Raw. But yeah, to be honest, I don't think Punk's going to win. Punk is the only person to win 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches in years succession, and he's one of the longest reigning WWE champions in history. But to be honest, Punk will not win this match. In my opinion, why? Because Brock Lesnar will come out and probably hit him with an F5 onto a ladder or off the top of a ladder. It'll be great, amazing. The audience will stand up on their feet. But that will, in my opinion, will be the reason why Punk does not win the Money in the Bank ladder match. Moving on now to my personal favourite, which is Daniel Bryan. I absolutely love Daniel Bryan, his style, his personality, the whole yes, no, that stuff. I think it's brilliant. I think Daniel Bryan has been brilliant over the last recent months. And I think he's been brilliant recently as well with the whole weak link and the whole Team Hell No. And I think he's shown he's not the weak link over his series of matches with Randy Orton. The fact that he managed to take the fight to Randy Orton and even make Randy Orton submit with a no lock and the kendo stick. Daniel Bryan has experience in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He won it, I believe it was 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, I want to say 2 years ago. And that was a great Money in the Bank ladder match too. Then he successfully cashed in on the Big Show and won the title in 45 seconds, only to lose the title in 18 seconds to Sheamus, which was a bit of a, I think it was a bit of a slap in the face, to be honest, to Daniel Bryan, because he's a great superstar, and his first WrestleMania match was over in 18 seconds from a swift bro kick to the face. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but my dogs are barking. I have no idea why. But my prediction for Daniel Bryan, I think he will win this match. I say that because he is my favourite wrestler in WWE at the moment, and I think it'll be a good story from the whole having to be the weak link to becoming the Money in the Bank. Then set up some great series of matches between John Cena and Daniel Bryan, because we haven't really seen that rivalry. I think they've had one match together on Raw, but I would love to see it in a rivalry form, then, because we've seen Randy Orton Cena, we've seen Punk Cena, we've seen Sheamus Cena. So I think the only one to look really forward to would be to see Cena and Daniel Bryan. So my prediction is Daniel Bryan will win the Money in the Bank ladder match. You heard it here first. And now let's move on to the 7th guy, which is the returning Rob Van Dam, who obviously left the company. I know he made a stint, I think, in the 2009 Royal Rumble, but his last real match was Extreme Rules. I think it's 2007. Last match was a stretch match against Randy Orton, which he won, which was a little bit of a fluke win because Randy Orton pushed him all the way up the entrance ramp on the stretcher, and RVD just quickly kicked him in the head. Randy Orton fell on the stretcher, and Randy Orton, of course, pushed over the line, which led to Randy Orton punting RVD in the head and then doing that big DDT off the barricade. Yes, I'm getting a bit off subject here, but I'm just bringing you up a little bit of history of Rob Van Dam. Obviously, Rob Van Dam has been in the Money in the Bank ladder match. He was the second guy to win it after Edge at the WrestleMania 22. He did cash in. He was one of the only 2 guys to announce when he was going to cash in beforehand, and he successfully cashed in against John Cena at ECW's One Night Stand, thanks to the help of Edge through spearing Cena for a table. And then RVD went on to be WWE and ECW champion. But RVD's return, he is getting quite on now. He used to be my favourite wrestler, but I'm just looking at his age, and to be honest, I don't think he's going to hold back in this match. It's his first WWE match in, I think, 5 years, so he needs to really, I reckon he's just going to try and steal the show, which is great, because I think Daniel Bryan and CM Punk are both show stealers, and I'd love to see RVD come in as well, meaning not nearly half of the competitors in the Money in the Bank match will be trying to steal the show. But I reckon it's going to be a great show. I reckon we're going to see a lot of high risk, high bumps, great moves, memorable moments, and because the best thing is Money in the Bank, the pay-per-view in general is normally a memorable pay-per-view. It's normally one of the best pay-per-views of the year, and I really can't wait. I think the card's building up quite nicely, and this Money in the Bank match I reckon is going to be fantastic. The only thing I don't like the fact is that it is all fan favourites in the match. Hopefully we'll see like a heel turn from Randy Orton. That possibly, hopefully I'd love to see Kane turn heel again and become a monster. But my personal opinion is Daniel Bryan wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, cashes in against Cena, and we see some great matches between Cena and Bryan. But also I reckon it's going to be like a 5-star match. I really can't wait. Every year I look forward to these kind of matches, and this one is no different. But that's all from me. Please, if you feel differently from Daniel Bryan winning this match, write in the comments who you think is going to win the match. Are you excited to see RVD back? Hit that like button if you do enjoy these WWE 13 prediction series, because I will be doing as many as I can, like I say in most videos. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing, don't miss any of the action. And yeah, I hope to see you all next time when I do more predictions on the WWE 2013 Money in the Bank pay-per-view.